Alrighty, so let's talk to Jess about the common errors or common faults with the squats.
So the first most common, or not the most common, but we'll start from the top, is hand position. So you'll always see on the bar there's markings, and these will show us where the center of the bar is. Often people, when they're new, will grab the bar just wherever and they're lopsided. Of course, that's going to put the weight off center of your body and it's not going to help you lift better. Or they're much too wide than where they need to be. So it's not going to enable them to get as tight as possible in the upper back. So the next common thing is that people are not tight through the upper back. So often what we'll see is that they'll come in and they just yank the bar off, and there's no getting tight before the bar is lifted off. So what we're looking for, if you're home, you're still going to be pulling that bar into your back, and you'll see that my elbows are just behind the bar, and they're going to stay in that position the whole time I'm lifting. If I'm low bar, it's essentially the same, just lower on the back, underneath the traps.
Yep.
And again, elbows stay just behind the bar in that tight position, and trying to have the wrists as stacked as possible. Okay, so this is actually the most common problem I see when people are squatting and seem to not be able to make progress, is that they don't know how to brace. So what's most common to see is that people think that they're braced, but they're actually really tight through the top of their abs, and then when they squat, they've been told hips back, so they're hyperextending the spine and coming down here. Of course, that's giving us no tightness through our lower back. There should be, when we're braced fully, that there is absolutely no movement in this part of the spine. So where we're going to fill that belly with air and we're going to brace, we should be able to, if you have your fingers here, feel like it's rock, and you're going to keep that tightness all the way through the movement and coming up. So after we've thought about bracing, the last thing we're going to talk about is our foot position. Now, every person's body is built differently, so there is no perfect foot stance. Some people will squat very forward with a narrow stance, some people will squat very wide and quite turned out, and it's going to completely depend on how your body is built, what is the anatomy of your bones and your mobility and all of those things. Over time your squat stance may change depending on multiple factors. But the things that we are thinking about wherever you choose to stand with your feet is that we have full contact with your foot on the floor. So you're thinking your big toe, your outside of your little toe and your heel, and you're going to feel like you're spreading your whole foot in the floor. So your weight is in through the center of the balls of the arch of your foot, not the balls. From that position, what I'm thinking about is actually about spreading the floor. So that is going to give me activation, but I like to have the cue of what it feels like, so that when I'm moving, I can go for that feeling, rather than trying to think of where are my knees supposed to be in space. That's never going to work for you to make the movement look right. So finally, elbow position. What we see quite commonly is that when people will squat, they lose their elbow position and they do either weird things and their elbows drop, or they suddenly do other strange things. What we're looking for is that the elbow position doesn't change. You're going to stay tight and it's going to not move through the entire movement.